Last night, Luka made his debut
Yeah.
against one of the bottom dwellers. Unfortunately, the Utah Jazz, one of the worst teams in the league, and just came out and got his feet wet. 24 minutes, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. The one thing I saw, and I only saw the first half because I had to go somewhere, was just it's a feeling out process. I think Luka doesn't want to do too much. Guys want to make sure he gets off. Guys don't want to do too much. So I just think obviously this was it's the first game. I know it's going to get better from here. But what did you guys think of seeing that number 77 and that shit was all over Staples Center too?
Yeah, I mean, you should have known the jersey sales gonna go crazy. I want one. You know what I mean? That ain't no surprise. I
Yeah.
think, like you said, Matt, he tried to fit in, but it's good what Braun said. Braun said, told him, "Don't fit in, fit the fuck out." I think he gonna get to that. We know what Luka can do, man. He coming back from an injury, so like you say, he's just trying to get his feet wet. But we know what to expect. We know what we're gonna see. We just anxious to see that big game he has, and him and LeBron have a big game together to see how that's gonna work.
Yeah, real quick before you go, KD, I love the fact, and I think we're all in agreement that LeBron has been trying to hand the keys off to someone. I think he has someone to hand the keys off, but Bron last night showed you, don't forget about, I'm still him.
It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that till he retire, Matt. It's gonna be like that till he retire.
But I like, again, and this is not a knock on AD, because I think over the past 2 or 3 years we've been saying Bron's been trying to hand the keys off. So I think Bron is going to happily hand the keys off and allow Luka, once he's 100% healthy or is close to 100%, to carry a majority of the load. But like you said, Jack, it doesn't have to be a consistent all the time LeBron. LeBron can kind of know it's a marathon, not a sprint. Katie, what were you saying?
Yeah, no, man. I mean, I think Luka's gonna be great in LA. I think they gotta surround him with the right pieces.
Agreed.
I think, believe it or not, man, I think LeBron is humble enough at this point in his life where he wants to have somebody in the driver's seat, right? And he can play a different kind of way. It's hard playing when everybody's loading up on you, when you have to create, when you have to score, when you have to motivate, when you have to inspire, when you have to rebound, when you have to defend, when you have to do all these things. So Luka's going to take the pressure off of him with that. I can't wait to see them get into those 2-man games, right? Those pick and rolls up high, or those side pick and rolls where they force double teams. And I think what we'll see the game being played a different way, because when you can kind of put those two in pick and rolls and create that mismatch, you'll see some more logo post ups. You'll see some more double teams in the logo post up area. And so having the right pieces around them is going to be really important. I still think they need a lob threat. They gotta, they gotta go in that bag and find, a lob threat, a big body. And there's some older guys out there who are serviceable, who've actually had success with the Lakers that I think could be a good fit right now. But more so than anything, man, like I think LeBron is gonna get the potty train Luka on routine, on regiment, on like how big and how much you owe to the game when you're in that spot. When you're in that spot,
Katie, not to
to
interrupt, but we all know, because Katie, you played here down the hallway. Playing in LA is a lot different, man. So I like what you're saying about the potty train and routine and regimen, but also these Laker lights are brighter than any other motherfucking lights you'll ever get on.
Yeah. And the spotlight can make some nervous, but I think Luka's built for this shit, man.
He built for that.
He's been doing it since he was 14 years old. He's done it on a high level in a lot of different scenarios and situations. But there's still room for improvement with him. He's got to give more to the game holistically, especially on the defensive side, especially with the complaining and the pandering to the refs. He's got to get locked in more. He's going to have to drink some hot sauce. He's going to have to go get, we're going to have to get him some Roscoe's out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to have to kind of
maybe not Roscoe's. Let's get him some vegan shit.
Well, put some hot sauce on that motherfucker, though.
We're going to take him to the east side, let him hang with Term for about a week.
Oh, shit. Hey, KD, I like the point you made about the X's and O's, and we all know that's one of JJ's strengths. I mean, and when you think the pick and roll game, obviously, KD, you sat in the coach's chair in the NBA. You think about the pick and roll game, that goes two ways. I mean, that has Bron setting picks and Luka setting picks. Yeah. And they're both going to be doubles. So what's that throwback look like? And then that's why, to your point, it's important building this roster around with guys that can handle those type of situations. Someone that could put a threat on the rim, also space for shooting, and then, slashers. But KD, as you guys think, if you're on this Lakers staff with JJ, And as things start flowing, I mean, I think it's a great problem to have. I don't even call it a problem, but you got LeBron James, Luka, and let's not sleep on Austin Reeves, who's playing the best basketball of his career. You know what I mean? That's a great third option. And before Luka, someone who was running the team in crunch time when Bron didn't have the ball. So as a coach, what are you trying to communicate to your team and get across to your team to have those three particularly gel?
Habits. You got to create the habits, right? Like, you got to be serviceable in the defensive schemes. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to get the buy-in from the superstar players if it's going to trickle down to the whole roster. And a lot of times, JJ's been a part of a lot of great coaching. He's had a lot of great coaches, Doc Rivers, Stan Van Gundy, Coach K, a lot of those guys. So you got to get buy-in. You have to get those guys to buy in and accept, you know what I mean, their role and their responsibility to the team, especially on the defensive level, on the defensive end. Because offensively, Luka and LeBron, they're talented enough to figure things out. They're smart enough. They can pass, they can dribble, they can shoot, they can post up, they can do everything. And so it's the buy-in really that's going to have to happen. And that's what he's going to have to look in the mirror and tell himself. Luka has got to get better on the defensive end. He's got to give himself to the game holistically, even if you don't have your legs on the offensive end. Being out there sometimes, you can be that facilitator. You know what I mean? You can just being out there can, cause spacing issues. So Luka's really just going to have to buy in on the defensive level. I know JJ's, losing a lot of sleep. I can see he's aging already. That's my young boy too. And, I think he'll put them in a position to be successful. But like I said, man, it's a cheat code. Up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. It's a contra cheat code when you have LeBron.
30. Hey, that's 30 lives. That's 30 lives. This team is sitting at fourth in the West. They've won 6 straight. Obviously, the Mark Williams trade fell through. And I just think, and I don't even want to be up here talking bad, but just what a piece of shit move by the Hornets. You mean you knew what the deal was. You try to pull a fast one. And this is not a knock on the players at all. But I was already thinking that the Hornets are just such a bad organization. And, this kind of just shines a spotlight, on that. I thought adding a Mark Williams, who is a lob threat, who is nearly a double-double guy, a young kid too, could have really set them up, for him to play his role in this team to achieve what they need to achieve. That trade is rescinded. All jokes aside, Jackson Hayes is their only big guy right now. They don't have money to really go out and get people in the buyout market. Keyon, you mentioned, JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard are sitting at home, and there's some other people sitting at home right now. Jack, where does this team go to try to find some frontline depth? Again, Jackson Hayes is there, but he's still young, and I'm not sure if he's someone you can count on yet in the playoffs. Where do you think they go to shore up that front line, or at least shore up that front line for the remainder of this season?
I mean, JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard was on people I could think of, but regardless what they do, they ain't gonna win it this year, in my opinion. They got to make a whole bunch of moves. You know what I'm saying? They can make it entertaining. Yeah, they can see, get Dwight or JaVale McGee. I think those two guys are give them the presence they need right now to make a run and to make it look good, because those guys are experienced. They know the role they need to play to come in, which with LeBron and Luka, protect the rim, catch lobs, all that type of stuff, set screens, roll. They know all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, whatever they're doing, they're just spinning their reels right now. I think this summer they really can open up what they got. You know what I'm saying? See how they can make moves. I think this summer is really next season is really where you're going to see this Lakers team be the team it could be. But right now, everything is just for nothing.
I to be honest with you, I think they have a lot of really good pieces. I mean, I like Finney-Smith. I like Hachimura. Obviously, I love Reeves. I think it's the front line that needs to shore up. And again, to your point, Stak, I mean, there's guys that have been contemplating retirement are the only guys they can really go after. So those are just to be the plug holes this year. But again, to take a look under the hood, I don't think they need a ton. I think going into this summer, they're going to need frontline help and depth. And I think outside of that, they got a lot of other good pieces. What up? This is Matt Barnes, one half of All the Smoke, and I'm really excited to announce our new partnership with StockX for 2025. You already know how particular I am with my shoes. That's why I rock with StockX. They have access to all the early releases.
Doesn't matter if you're hunting those rare Jordan 1s or trying to find the latest drops. StockX is your bridge to sneaker and streetwear culture.
Plus, their market data lets you know exactly what everything is worth. You know I've been collecting all the Travis Scott Jordans, but now with StockX, there's price transparency. No more guessing what's fair. You see exactly what things are selling for.
Hit StockX.com right now and level up your collection. StockX, now you know.